Hey everybody, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining me on this family week where I'm in northern Kentucky. It's a good time. It's a family gathering. There's lots of dogs barking in the background, which is completely normal, and it's not the sound of my body in any way. Also, we have family guests over tonight because the multi-talented, wonderful musician Sam Bush is performing tomorrow night, and he's over here with my dad right now, having my dad work on his mandolin. So we're going to dinner with him at like a little after 6, so my time. So that gives me about an hour to kill this stuff and then come back maybe later on tonight or start an early show tomorrow and pick up where I left off. It's hard to say. There is so much stuff. As our beloved CSL will tell you, it's a we are drowning in treasure bath. It's a treasure bath. That's what's happening. Of the the level of idiocy that we are currently seeing. Okay, my people are saying, please turn the sound up. I will do that. And yes, that's because this is over here. Let's try to get that a little louder. I think we can do that. And hopefully, it should be. Let me tweak away at that. Where are you? And this little guy. And then the MacBook Pro. It's turned up pretty much as loud as I can get it right now. I hope that's a little better. We will gather it as we can. There we go. I don't know why. Like sometimes I don't know why it just gets quiet because it decides to. So very strange. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to figure out why. There's these little quirky aspects of whatnot. Okay, so I'll just maybe I'll move closer. Maybe I'll talk a little more directly to it. Hard to say. If not, I will switch tomorrow to the clip-on mic. And again, I'm sorry. I'm trying to play catch up with a lot of this stuff as I go on the road. You understand. Nice to see you guys. Thanks. Awesome. Here we go. Hopefully this is louder and better. Gosh, just wonderful. So where do we start? Oh yes. So obviously the world is someone put it in a blender a couple of years ago and hit frappe in an attempt to turn it upside down and you know me. I believe that there's a giant, invisible, yet psychotic hand controlling all things, just messing with us all. I'm sorry, that's Russell Brand. I actually think that life is just very complicated, has a lot of moving parts, and no one gets to skip history. That's what I believe. Anyways, so the world is a vampire. Yeah. You know who's a vampire? The lead singer of Smashing Pumpkins. In a bad way. All right. Okay, here we go. Now, all right, you're thinking, but in the process of this, who can I turn to? Who can help me navigate what's going on in the world? Who can help me find my way through all this craziness? Besides HAL Sparks, who does it with a smile on his face, joy in his heart, and a keen and sharp wit. Well, of course, no, not this fellow. This is Eric Bowling. Pictured here, mid-sneeze. I'm kidding. It is his guest on the show, on his Newsmax program. Eric Bowling Ball has a guest on, and it's the question that they're asking for, they would need to find an answer on is, what do Americans think of the war in Ukraine? You can't see that because I'm in the way. I beg your pardon. I'll fix that. Let me bounce. Hello. I'm Eric Bowling's show, and we're here to give it a go. We're so easily confused and dumb and afraid of Jews, especially that George Soros. All right, it says, what do Americans think? That's the Eric Bowling theme that I just made up, and it's probably right on the money. What do Americans think of the war in Ukraine? What do they think of the war in Ukraine? What do Americans think? And by Americans, we mean Ted Nugent. Oh God. Oh dear God. All right. Ted Nugent. Well, what do Americans think? Well, if you're going to ask, then that's the dude. That's the guy that, no one speaks for the average American. Okay, let me see. I'm trying to turn up the sound on this. 1 second. Because I'm getting a lot of people saying, what the heck-a-doodle is going on here? Let me see if I can do this. If I'm too quiet. It might be that my Is my hair in the way? Is that what's happening? Let me see if I can try this. Another option. Let's see, in the sound thing. The AirPods are. Why is it not allowing me to use the AirPods as a thing? That's curious to me. All right. Doesn't matter. Give me 1 second. Because I can hear through these things, so I damn well better. Let's see. Nope, nope, nope. Nobody, nope. Yeah, because it's really, I don't know why it's bizarrely quiet on there. There is literally no reason for it. I don't get it. What are my options? I guess I'll move closer. This is hello, hello, hello. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and all our ships at sea. Check, check. All right. I'm trying. Yes, I am. I'm on a Mac indeed. And it should be there. It's it should be, you can hear me? Everybody sounds okay? That's lovely? All right. So, I'll make sure the audio on this stuff isn't too loud so you can bring up whatever your thing is so it doesn't blast us all out. There we go. It sounds okay. It's just a little low. I don't know why that is right now. It's being very weird. Okay, here we go. Let's get started though, because I can't deal with all this tech nonsense. I've got a show to do. I'm a young man. I've got prospects. All right, here we go. So this is Eric Bowling having Ted Nugent on to tell us what Americans really think of the war in Ukraine. Let's see.
Americans really think about the war and about Joe Biden and the Biden administration.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. The Joe Biden war in Ukraine. Beg your pardon. Let me clarify that. The Joe Biden war. Okay.
Have they stepped up to the challenge? Let's bring in my friend and fellow American singer and activist.
And third choice for the KFC Christmas special after the Unabomber.
And you know what? Patriot.
And you know what? Patriot. And you can tell because he took his hat off finally.
Patriot.
Is that loud? Is he really loud? But quiet to me? Something's wonky. What is happening? Can't hear me, but you can hear him? That's very strange. Hold on. Let me try this. Check. Okay, hold on. That's very loud now all of a sudden. There'll be an echo, but I think I can fix it. Give me 1 second. Turn off this. Go back to here. How about that? And whoa, that's loud. Hey, yes, loud. Yay. Okay. All of a sudden, now I've got to be very careful. Quiet, hello. Yeah, that's going to get overblown. Yay! Now it's too loud, right? Hold on. That I have to fix. I don't know what that is. It's so very curious. All right, here we go. Microphone and turn it down. Yep, check, check. That should be a little better, I hope. Okay. Whew! All right. So much craziness. Beg your pardon. Here we go. Now, let's see, and I've got to see if I can turn up the audio on there pour moi for the monitor that's happening out my AirPods because it was, for some odd reason, it was oddly quiet. All right, here we go. AirPods Pro on. They're just not. Oh, I see. Wait 1 second. I know what's going on. My goodness. Let's see. Yep, they're on. Good. There you go. Excellent. Now and hopefully I'll be able to hear it here.
Ted Nugent, what do patriots think about what's going on in Ukraine with Russia and how our administration's dealing with it?
And also, how would you know? That's another question that was left out. I'm sorry.
Well, number one, Eric, I'm honored and humbled that you know I actually connect with the pulse of real patriots.
What? Hang on, jackass. Wait a minute. I have to move myself out of this dude's beard. Otherwise, I'm going to smell like soup the rest of the day. First of all, when he calls you a patriot, dum-dum, you're supposed to say, I'm honored that you call me a patriot, especially a man of your character, because you're a patriot and I'm a patriot, and it's nice that patriots can see each other. Instead of, listen to this jackass. I can listen. Hold on. Run that by me again, dum-dum. So I'm honored that you know that I have the finger on the pulse. Like, thanks for noticing that I am uniquely the patriot something or other. Good Lord. By the way, you're watching HAL Sparks Mega Worldwide via a roadshow version. Please forgive. All right, here we go.
I'm honored and humbled that you know I actually connect with the pulse of real patriots, working hard, playing hard Americans every day. I'm glad you had Peter Navarro on because his book,
because he's a complete lunatic and also believes in extrajudicial and extra democratic bullshit.
pretty much says what's on the minds of great Americans right now.
And what's on the minds of great Americans right now is, God damn, that's a tooth sibilance. Are you wearing like the Invisalign, or do you just have a dog whistle built into your face? Because Ted, you're starting to sound like the gopher from Winnie the Pooh. Say, somebody's got a bear stuck in a hole.
That this is Trump time, and we know that none of this happened.
This is not Trump time. This is currently, for the record, just in case anybody's watching this in the future. No.
Donald Trump, because he always negotiated to make America stronger, make America safer, make peace through superior firepower, not just in hardware, but in.
Yes, says the guy with a garbage can full of arrows behind him. Peace through superior firepower. Let the deer know you mean business.
Where? In mindset, in spirit, in
mindset and spirit, especially when you got the big bear of Russia stuck in a hole.
attitude and actions. So America is so pissed off right now. Their frustration level and the pain and suffering.
The pain and the suffering.
Palpable. But number one, everybody is praying for the innocent citizens in Ukraine.
The innocent citizens. Man, if he says Nazi, I'm going to lose like one of my treble cones in my ear.
We know that the Ukraine government is corrupt. We know that Putin is a monster, but.
Oh, yeah, it's a 6 of one, half dozen of another, you know. By the way, do you guys remember a time when people like Zelensky would have been heralded as a hero by the Republicans, and now they're like, hope this guy gets what's coming to him?
Mostly, I got to tell you, Eric, as concerned as we are about those innocent victims over there.
Yeah, what we're really concerned about is gas prices.
We are just aghast that we don't secure our borders.
Oh, yes. It's the same thing. See all these people coming out of the buildings that are being blown to pieces.
Don't stop the flow of fentanyl into our country, killing more Americans than our Ukrainians dying.
Well, yeah, fentanyl's been around for a while, though. You know, this war just started. But, you know, give Putin give him a little lead time, Ted.
The anti-gun people in this country are going berserk trying to disarm Americans while they celebrate the distribution of Kalashnikov machine guns to the people.
Yeah, there's a current war going on, fucko, and they have, I don't know if you noticed this, but they have a well-regulated militia over there. They just don't hand them out to randos, because the couple of times they have had situations where Russian like double agents and separatists have literally pulled guns on important people in the government and in the civilian structure, and they had to kill that person because they gave them a gun, and they were like, we should probably keep track of who has guns right now. We celebrate people fighting back in an actual fucking war, as opposed to
Ukraine. They literally can't have it both ways.
Yes, you can, because we literally don't have a fucking open war happening right now.
They're so dishonest.
Tell you what, dude, they're so dishonest. I tell you, it's silly. Tell you what, Ted, look at the image, just right there. See that? Okay, when that's what it looks like, and not an elementary school in the middle of recess, then you can have guns being passed out and that kind of stuff. Because obviously, this is like an asshole saying, these guys all want everybody to get stitches when they have cuts, when they're bleeding, but they don't want to stitch up people who are just walking around. Maybe I want stitches, right? Like, Jesus.
Corrupt, so out of their minds and soulless that it's really exposing them to what used to be the middle ground, the moderates in America.
The moderates in America are actually improving more and more of Biden's handling of this. Actually, that's the numbers he won back over since the the Afghanistan withdrawal. And a lot of people are actually, when they're doing polls about Biden's handling of this, in asking him about the Afghanistan thing, they're going, well, maybe there was more to it now. So they're actually using Biden's response in this circumstance to take a relook at how Afghanistan went and went, well, he did get us out. And it was probably always going to be tough. And a lot of these things have a lot of moving parts and are fairly awful. So they're getting perspective they didn't have in August when we were getting out.
Starting to see the level of indecency and hypocrisy and dishonesty and abuse of power by our own government.
Yeah, it's so similar. You know what I mean? Like, because not all of us are looking at Russia invading Ukraine and going, that's what happens when you overregulate grazing land.
Buddies in military and law enforcement, they're more angry than anybody.
Well, no. The guys you know in military and law enforcement are a very narrow group of people. They don't represent the whole, and they're not getting more angry. A lot of them are just going to work and doing the hard work that they do.
Because they see that their commander-in-chief is at least dangerously inept, but more often than not, treasonous in his actions, turning his back on American people.
Like how?
So that's the point.
Yes, I'm sorry. When you say treasonous and turning his back on the American people, in what way do you actually mean that? Because we're all fucking confused.
Of America out there, and believe me, it's an accurate one.
Isn't it? It is accurate. See what I mean?
Let me ask you,
Yeah, let me ask you this. Do you have a body from the neck down? Because I can't see it. The camouflage is just too good. Did you ever think of, since you're sitting in a room in front of a dresser, maybe wear a shirt with a picture of a dresser on it? It might actually serve as better camo, because you don't have enough houseplants to justify the shirt. Also, sleeves, please, next time.
Now I see polls about Americans are okay with higher gas prices if it means.
Yeah, it's terrible, isn't it? I see polls that say they're okay with it if it means innocent people don't die. They're okay with paying slightly more for products if Uyghurs aren't used as slave labor. But do they really mean it, Ted? I know you don't. I know I don't. That's why I had you on the show.
Pulling out of Russian oil. But do you think this whole idea of.
He's like, no, they don't. Fuck that. I live near Detroit, used to be Motor City, and they're going to be building electric cars. Do you realize? My penis is turtling.
We don't want to get involved and help those poor people in Ukraine because if our fingerprint, Peter Navarro said it, if our fingerprints are on it, it might start World War III. Or do you think there are people who are saying, all right, enough is enough. He can't be that ridiculous. And we would, if NATO would decide to go at it with Putin, it would be.
Yeah, dude, just ask Ted. He's a sane person with a military background. Dude fucking wears camo on stage. While he threatened, he literally held up an M16 at a like one of his concerts and told Hillary to sit on it and spin like he was going to fire it. Yes, my love. Oh, we are. We're going to leave at 6. It's 5:30. Okay, well, let him know I'll be ready to go at 6. Love you, because that's when we were supposed to leave. We have dinner plans, so I'm getting through this.
Fairly quickly. Where do Americans feel?
Yeah, where do Americans feel? Yes, thank God. Ted, tell them how I feel right now. I'm sure it's going to be keyed right in.
Right. What's our involvement?
What is our involvement, Ted?
Involvement we should be.
By the way, can I remind you, this is the shut up and sing crowd. Can we take a break from the total insanity of this Eric Bolling, Ted Nugent interview with actual, like, Russian shelling footage going on over, like, rescuers pulling people out of citizens out of buildings being shelled by the Russians, to this dude who pretended to crap his pants so he could get out of going to Vietnam, and this guy interviewing him. Just put that aside for a second and remember that Republicans believe that people like Ted, well, people who can still play anyways, and musicians and actors and comedians like myself shouldn't have a say in any of this. Just for the record, these are the people who invented "Shut Up and Sing."
Well, the best and most accurate representation to answer that question comes from the great Americans exercising their First Amendment in Washington, D.C. right now.
The truckers. Why? Because they're doing laps around the Beltway, wasting everyone's time and burning fuel. I'm sorry, Ted. Were they torn away fighting for freedom so they couldn't bring supplies to people in Iowa after the tornadoes got hit them so bad? No,
great
nothing.
Families that are driving trucks and bringing our supplies and our fuel and our food and
they're not bringing any of it. They're taking time off from doing that. They're complaining about mandates that don't actually exist. Some of them are complaining about mandates in other countries.
Medicine and our fertilizer
and our fertilizer, which, by the way, for the record, in Ted's case, is the same thing. Medicine, fertilizer, they're good for what ails you.
A source of quality of life in America. That truck convoy
are the people who aren't doing that. Oh, hi, dogs. Hi, the dogs came in. Hello. They're just coming in. The dogs are just coming in. Hold on. Show. Okay, back to the horrors that are Ted Nugent. Sorry. Hi. That's Chance and Pete, by the way, for those who are wondering.
Pretty much says it all. And Eric, God bless you, because you are the master American at spotlighting cockroaches, both foreign and domestic.
Yeah, that's why he had you on. Thank you for noticing that I spotlight cockroaches. Otherwise, you wouldn't be a guest, Ted.
Again,
thank you, Rollis.
The majority of Americans are worried about the domestic cockroach. Yes, we pray and
yeah, I mean, most of us are worried about stuff here at home. You know what I mean? Look, yes, Hitler's a bad guy, but we don't know that many Jews here. And I don't know, I've heard mixed stories about this concentration camp stuff. I don't know that it's true. And I was listening to Neville Chamberlain's speech the other day, and I have to say, Eric, that
want to help those innocent victims wherever they may be. But it's not just you.
No, you don't.
It's going on in Somalia and in the Sudan and in Mexico.
And by the way, they go to Mexico for the cartel fights. That's not an invasion that entails the redrawing of the map in a particular country. Also, in the Sudan and other places, internal civil wars. It's interesting how they do this. I've seen this. He's not the first person I've done this. A lot of the right-wingers right now are comparing this to fights going on in Congo and places like that, which are internal civil wars, basically conflating these things. So, Russia is Ukraine's, Ukraine is Russia. So if Russia takes Ukraine, that stuff happens.
Right across the river from where I'm sitting, we've got tyrants murdering their own citizens.
No, you don't. I mean, are you saying that the president of Mexico and the head of a cartel are equal governing bodies?
We have a president in the White House and his administration that is just welcoming the flow of fentanyl that are.
No, they aren't. They're busting more of it than they ever have.
Hundreds of thousands of Americans. So my priority is always family, community, country, and then the rest of the world. And
right. And I still haven't seen any of my family. So I don't even know. I'm going to have to get to country eventually. So that, by the way, those are the things he bullshits about in order.
Our American house is not in order.
I'm sorry. You're right. in 1939, America pretty much was just done. Just put a pin in her. All of our problems had been, I mean, you know, we 10 years earlier, we'd had the Great Depression. And of course, the Dust Bowl was kind of an issue. But
So that's the priority consideration across this great land is we want leadership in this country, Republicans, where.
yeah, oh, wait, hold on. This is the title of this video. So I have to let him say the line, I guess. Seems like
great land is we want leadership in this country, Republicans, where art thou?
Eric's just like, I'm just imagining what the spit that would be hitting my eyes right now would smell like. Sorry, buddy, that's your party. Those are your people. Mine are doing exactly what I want them to do. And I don't have to agree with everything they come up with because I'm not looking for someone to worship. I'm looking for someone to manage the country while I take care of myself. And Democrats do a great job of that. Just saying for the record. Your guys have been grifting and split. Yeah, you know, you have Trump's address. Go see him.
We want leadership in our country that secures our house before we worry about other people. And there's always been cycles of indecency and demonicy. And that,
yeah, it's a cycle of demonicy. Demonicy? Is that like Katamari Damacy, the game that where you roll everything up, or is that just, you know, Satan? He comes around, just comes around every little
we're
while.
witnessing with Putin and Zelensky over there, and it's always happened.
Yeah, exactly. It's a cycle. Sometimes Putin Satan, sometimes Zelensky Satan, probably because he's Jewish. You know, what's the difference between these two guys? One guy is attacking the other guy's country, and the other guy is defending his own country. But it's the same thing.
The German people looked the other way when the trains of Jews were going by, screaming and crying, tears of agony and fear, and the Germans looked the other way. Americans are not looking the other way, and that truck convoy, I got to tell you, Eric.
Oh, fuck you. What? What? That's the parallel. Trains full of Jews going to concentration camps with people screaming out the windows, and the German people didn't look the other way, didn't listen to those screams as they went by. And over here, we have the same thing, which is these assholes driving themselves in a circle to sort of protest something that isn't actually happening, and they're screaming while they drive themselves in a circle, and we're not turning our backs on them the way the Germans. Good God, man. Eric, look, you know I can't stand you, but I'm not above some constructive criticism, you know, and understand that I mean well, mostly for anybody who might be watching this that might get poisoned by this nonsense. Not that they'll start believing this, but that they'll actually think that more than you and this dipshit actually think this. And that this is actually a broad and accepted idea. It ain't. Knock it off. Good
That's
Lord.
the real America
That's the real America, because we're not turning our backs on the convoy, which, by the way, we are. Nobody gives a shit. Because it isn't important. And by the way, Germans in a lot of those areas did not turn their backs and not pay attention. They were for it. There was a mix of people, and a lot of Germans absolutely supported that. Otherwise, it never would have gotten off the ground. It wasn't invisible to them. I mean, just the ignorance.
Support.
You know, Ted, we've had them on every single day, even though there's a lot of breaking news geopolitically around the world.
Yes, and because you don't understand any of the geopolitical news, you can't comprehend it because you have the brain of a hamster that has been twisted like a gym towel. And so it has no original thoughts or any congruent thoughts in it at all. So, of course, you had the truckers on to bitch about whatever the fuck they're bitching about today. By the way, that one of the I told everybody this. This is one of those co-opted things where the Russian troll farms created these Q groups by just creating, cat video channels and stuff like that on Facebook, and then one day just turned them all on, essentially, like shifted their messaging. They just did that on Telegram with one of the trucker convoy ones, went straight Q just in a day. How could you not see that shit coming? And I do mean not.
Nugent, always good. You make such a great point. The same people are saying arm those people in Ukraine to let them protect themselves are saying take those guns out of Americans' hands so we can't protect our.
Yeah, we're not in an open war zone, dum-dum. Do you, and this is, by the way, part of these assholes believe that America is somehow in a direct fight equal to what's going on over there, which is insanity. Like, okay, hold on. Somebody was saying, whoa. So I used to develop merch for Nugent when the Dixie Chicks got the dust up about the illegal Iraq War and got a good reception in European crowds. Ted had us pull the U.S. flags from the European leg. Jesus. Well, again, this is what you get. This is what you get. This is the best they've got to offer. This is Ted Nugent, what Americans truly think. And what do they think? The Republicans are letting them down. So that part's good. You guys. Sorry, the sound went out on that one. Beg your pardon. Fixed it. Got it. Okay. Ta-da! Is that better? Does that sound okay? Hold on, I get it. Yay! Thanks. Sorry. It's okay. Okay, good. There's everybody's so or later than that. Yeah, there we go. Got it. You're watching HAL Sparks Mega Worldwide. Sometimes with sound. I'm just saying. Sometimes. All right. So let's jump back into this. I have another one, and if I can get through this, I will. Again, when it comes to Republican on Republican crime, I gotta say I get excited, and I just can't hide it. I'm about to lose control, and I think I like it. We return again to the lovely folks over at Newswax, where I forget what her name is, but she's doing right now. She's just straight Jiminy Glicking right now. But this one is fascinating. There was leaked memos that came from the Kremlin that says that the Russian media is encouraging its broadcasters to use Tucker Carlson clips. No surprise at all. We had heard, they were doing it. They follow orders, so it wasn't spontaneous, I think is the only thing we learned from this. But I do want to see, yes, it's Newswax, because they snuff the news right before your very eyes. It's so in this, I'm very excited. But we will. I want to see their personal take on how they go after Fox.
Over his comments about Russia amid its ongoing war with Ukraine.
Just comments about Russia.
Listen.
How could we possibly benefit from that war? We still don't know the answer to that question. But it is obvious that permanent Washington has been fixated on war with Russia for a very long time. They wanted a war, and now they have one.
And by the way, we've already commented on this one. I actually did this video once already. Don't get me started.
Well, now Russia taking notice. According to The Guardian, a leaked Kremlin memo to Russia media says that it is essential to use as much as possible fragments of broadcast.
By the way, Newsmax citing The Guardian for news that they need and that they view as real. Just wrap that in your head too. That's almost as big as shut up and sing for the bowling Ted Nugent thing. Do you understand? Do you understand what these people allegedly think of The Guardian and MSNBC and NBC and any of the other channels, in fact, even Fox at this point? But they have no problem using their clips to go, see, I told you so.
Of the popular Fox News host Tucker Carlson, who sharply criticizes the action of the United States and NATO.
Joining us.
Is it that what he's doing? He's sharply criticizing? That's what he's doing. All right.
Now to talk about this, former advisor to Presidents Clinton and Trump and host of Dick Morris.
Okay, so this is Dick Morris's broken clock moment in the sun. Because if you'll recall, the last time we saw Dick Morris in a video for this, it was criticizing Tucker Carlson. They're like, oh, he's our go-to dude.
See Dick Morris himself. Dick, what's your take on this?
Yes, Dick, what's your take on this?
Well, I think it's horrible what Tucker is doing. Absolutely horrible. This is an existential fight for
an existential fight.
freedom and for democracy and for world peace. There are two models going ahead for the next few decades. Either we're going to be back in a might makes right world, where you go out and you grab any country you want, or a rule of law. And we've been moving aggressively toward rule of law and really have made that the cornerstone of international policy.
And then Donald Trump got in office. And rule of law, get out of here.
Now, Putin is challenging that. And Tucker is finding all kinds of grounds for siding with Putin. He's worried about the biolabs. He's worried about the no.
By the way, when Trump was throwing himself in front of Putin's bus at every turn, Dick did not have this problem.
Zone. He's worried about the weapons we're using in China. But fundamentally, this is a question of pick your side. Either you're going to be for democracy and for stability in the world, or you're going to be for this kind of, pardon the pun, but Russian roulette world that Putin wants us to live in.
By the way, yes, I know you're thinking it already, but Dick Morris does sound like a cartoon actor from a 1960s Disney cartoon. And I think he missed his calling.
We were just mentioning a short time ago where the State Department, the Treasury specifically, has designated 7 Russian entities as disinformation targets, concentrating on those along with 26 Russians and some Ukraine-based individuals.
By the way, while Dick Morris looks like, hold on, let me move myself. While Dick Morris sounds like one of the voice actors, this dude over here looks like the real life version of the dad from 101 Dalmatians. So I think there's a theme going on here. And she's just, holding down the Karen.
Limiting their access here and their ability to spread disinformation.
Well, I don't think we should necessarily do that. But look, it's very important, speaking to the
I was in the middle of I was trying to get a show on RT when it got shut down, and I'd already spent the money.
Newsmax audience. Fox News and Newsmax are obviously the bastions of conservative sentiment in the United States.
Well.
And if those entities start second guessing.
Hold on. Did he just call them entities? Because that might be a real word for these two organizations. Hold on. Those two what?
In the United States. And if those entities start...
Oh, he said entities. It's just his mouth.
Second guessing the cause of freedom and start undermining the Ronald Reagan doctrine of trying to keep these countries free, then how is Biden going to stick his neck out?
He's already doing it for you. He's not Biden doesn't wait for Fox and Newsmax to figure out which side is up.
Democrats going to do that? How are the...
They already are. They're way ahead of you. It was the RNC that was changing its platform to stop lethal aid to Ukraine in 2016.
Independents going to do it. People look to the Republican Party for leadership.
No, they don't.
National security.
No, they don't. Especially, beyond on Iran-Contra. Forget about the fact that while everybody thinks wag the dog is a Clinton problem, it was largely started as a narrative around Bush 1, because the idea is that he started that to hide his affair. That's true. And Bush 1 had it was Bill Barr that got him to that basically blocked his journal from being used in the sentencing part of the Iran-Contra thing that would have wrapped him up in it. Blah, blah, blah. The point being is that the first Iraq war, bull jive. The second Iraq and the Afghanistan war, bull jive. That's why, a lot of us protested against both of them. But does anybody think that if Al Gore had been president, we would have been as slapdash in our response to 9/11? Are you kidding me? You think we would be in a 20-year war in Afghanistan and Iraq if Al Gore had won, which he did, but never mind.
And when one of them just runs out on you, it undermines you. Look at pre-World War II. FDR wanted to give aid to Britain, wanted to send help to France, and Lindbergh and the isolationists, who were Republicans and conservatives, raised hell about it.
Right. But now, look at this. Now Ted Nugent, the true voice of Republicanism, he can set everything right because, yes? Well, we're leaving at 6, aren't we? Because our reservation's at 6:30? It's 5:49. I've got 10 minutes.
Okay, sorry.
No one's checking their clocks. Am I the only person? All right. My kid comes in twice because my dad sent him. Now my dad's come to get me. And he made the reservations. All right, don't get me started. I will try to come back on late tonight if I can. Sam will be sleeping in the next room because I don't want to keep him awake. So I'll see what I can do about that. They keep coming in. The dogs came in. Oh, God.
Went crazy about it, and that limited his maneuverability. He couldn't do it.
Yes, because conservatives have always not given a shit when innocent people are dying or wanted to pick a fight with people who were innocent. And
Passed Lend-Lease, I think, by 1 vote in Congress.
Oh, he does sound like the gingerbread man from Shrek. That's a good point.
And it was paralyzed our attempts to
Thank
cope
you, Lulu
with
girl.
Hitler. And now Tucker Carlson is having the same effect on our attempts to help Zelensky and to help democracy and to keep peace.
So is Newsmax, fucko. I just showed a clip of Eric Bolling with Ted Nugent going, yeah, we care about those people. But I don't know. We don't. It's certainly not our problem over here. How are my parents Democrats? Yes.
Dick, why do you think he's doing this?
I don't know, and I certainly don't want to get into impugning his motives. There is a long history of isolationism in America. It was brought to a halt with Pearl
Yeah, it's a historical thing. It's not because Tucker's on the take or anything.
Harbor, and then it kind of resurfaced, and then we were all reminded at 9/11 how stupid a doctrine that is, because the United States is part of the world and can't be separate from it. So I don't want to impugn Tucker's motives, but
I will.
think that what he's doing is causing an enormous amount of harm. It's making it harder for Bush to approve, for Biden to approve.
What's the difference? Bush, Biden, Bush.
A no.
By the way, making it harder for Biden to approve a no-fly zone. No, he isn't. That's not a factor. Biden's not making a decision or not making a decision based on fucking Tucker Carlson. Get out of here.
It's making it harder for NATO to shower the Ukrainian rebels with aid.
No, it isn't.
It's making it harder for the United States to face down China.
No, it isn't.
Because
But by the way, if Dick Morris wants Republicans to think this is true about Tucker Carlson, I give a fuck. This is their own problem. But the Biden administration and NATO and all these folks are not getting Congress people calling them going, my constituents don't want this. That's not happening. And it's not happening. Tucker's viewers are not calling and getting a genuine response from like calling MTG and MTG calling the White House going, we can't, blah, blah, blah. Like it is frankly not occurring.
Conservatives, when the national security Republican conservatives are running out on you, it completely undermines the political calculus.
Sorry, you guys aren't a part of the calculus. Why would you be? Your former president was completely on the take for the guy who actually attacked the country. You can say all you want about Biden and the Hunter Biden laptop and all that mythology because it's garbage, but you cannot actually fault Biden for his response in this, or because it's in line with all of NATO and all of the civilized world.
Look, the security and safety of the United States of America is basically vested in the Republican Party.
Why? Based on what? That's just garbage. I don't know why this is an assertion without evidence.
It said that 70% of the Democrats would flee.
No, it is not. 70% of Democrats would not flee. By the way, Democrats have more women. And a lot of times in this situation, looking at the Ukrainian fight right now, the vast majority of people who stay and fight are male, period. There's some variance in there, not everybody. Certainly there's a lot of women fighting over there. But, 1-to-1, most of the time, men are going to stay and fight. Women are going to, if they have children especially, or people to care for, going to do that. In a war, it kind of zeroes out any of the kind of conversation about civilized gender norms and goes back, it kind of reverts back. That happens a lot. And a lot of people are talking about in these things of, I would take the kids and go, and my husband would stay and fight. This is the idea, right? And it's pretty consistent world over. We're not going to reinvent that wheel quickly over time. Just not going to happen. And if you'll notice, there's a huge gender difference in the Republican Party and the Democratic Party. So that, never mind that. That being true, they're within 10% of each other, even still. Also, that's how it actually played out over there.
They were invaded, and 94% of the Republicans or something would fight. That was
bullshit. There is no way. I guess Dick Morris and Eric Bolling and all these guys are in the 6%.
Most recent poll. So the Republican Party and
conservatives, it's easy to say.
Are
we going to check people's their party affiliation as they're leaving the country?
Lodestone, the anchor of national security. The Democrats just live here for the most part.
Yeah, that's what we do. We just live here, making sure the roads are functional and that people have something to eat and that the water isn't poison, and the satellites stay in the sky, and NASA gets funded, and the FAA. But we just live here doing that shit, making the country worth fighting for.
And it's the Republicans that stand up for national security.
Bullshit. Again, you're on here to talk about Tucker Carlson.
And if we've ever needed to be united in the face of a common enemy, this is the time.
Well, no, I mean, I would argue that there are other times, I mean, during your life, maybe.
Well, we were united in giving them aid. I mean, $16 billion in aid as part of that $1.3 trillion omnibus spending bill.
Yeah, but we weren't so united. Tucker
today.
Opposed it. Tucker Carlson said we were fomenting war by giving aid.
But it still passed.
Yeah, because the Democrats put it forward.
Of course, but no thanks to him.
Yeah.
And no thanks to over 100 Republicans.
The leading voice on Fox News. And it's outrageous that a conservative news organ is spouting this kind of stuff and spraying this kind of, frankly, poison. I don't think it should be censored. I don't think it should be banned. But we should recognize the disservice to freedom that he is doing.
All right. Dick Morris.
Well, thanks, Dick, for coming on and attacking Tucker Carlson for what we have been doing on this network all day long, on all of our other shows.
Thank you, as always. We appreciate it. And be sure to check out Dick Morris Democracy Saturday.
Yeah, I can't. I got a thing. I mean, I've got to go to dinner now. I certainly don't have time. I mean, how am I going to even manage this? Yes, I've only got 3 minutes left, so I'm going to sign off. Don't worry.
At 7:30 p.m. Eastern, right here on Newsmax.
Yeah. America, but not really. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. I'm sorry today's show is truncated and short. I'm traveling and with family, and we're going to dinner because we have a guest in from out of town. And I adore you guys, but family first, as always. This is spring break, so that's my kid and I are visiting grandparents in Kentucky. So that's why. So I hope you can find it in your let's see, in your heart to forgive me. Philip, we will get you on, I promise. I have to send you a different link to do this software. I worked on it last night, so we will work on it. There you go. Much love. I will see you guys later. How's it spring break? When is it spring? Well, you take a break before it's spring. That's the goal. Anyways, take care of yourself and take care of somebody else, and I will see you guys later. This is the HAL Sparks radio program, Mega Worldwide. No, it isn't. I'm just kidding. This is the show in the afternoon. No, it isn't. This is the morning show. No, it isn't. This is just kind of my midday slapdash version of things. Please forgive me. I will see you guys later. Hold on. Take care, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.